Doctors often use IV-administered vitamins and nutrients to treat existing illnesses or other conditions, but IV cocktails can also be used to alleviate daily aggravations and combat illnesses before they even begin. So today we're going to ask Dr. Jenny from Age Vital Pharmacy about IV therapy. So we hear about this, but I've never quite understood why we should give it a try. I don't usually routinely look for IVs because they can hurt. So tell us about the advantages of taking something orally or using an IV.
The advantages of it, well, you're going to recover a lot faster than taking something orally, because then it's bypassing the gut 100%. But you got to remember, this is not a new concept. This is something that all ERs across the country do. When somebody gets sick or they have the flu, you were talking about the flu, and they get super dehydrated, they take them to the ER to plug them into electrolytes, so lactate ringer for dehydration, making sure, you know, especially in the hospitals when someone's not outputting enough urine, or, you know, they're not producing enough saliva. You know, they do it with children, with infants, with grown-ups, the elderly. So it just helps them recover a lot faster, keeping the body strong when they're not even capable to swallow.
So do you do it for well people?
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. Healthy people do it all the time too, because they're always, you know, if someone's partying too much. You know, the most popular, you see all these IV centers across the country, you know, I'm thinking the ones over up in, you know, Las Vegas.
Yeah, they bring in
the
buses.
hydration, right.
IV buses.
But it's so great to have them here in the Sarasota area too, where it's like, oh my gosh, you can go somewhere. If you're dehydrated, if you pushed it too hard in the gym, you know, if you're super, super sore, get in an IV drip for L-carnitine just to push out that lactic acid.
Well, what can it be used for? Like, is it just because you were drinking or anything?
What are the options?
Usually the doctors will assess. It's very much, you know, you go to places like a Replenish IV or a Revital Life or BEIM here locally. Hydrate is right around the corner here. But you go in there, they assess, you know, someone comes in, I have a headache, I have a migraine, I got lots of asthma. You know, I have allergies. You have allergy drips. You have anti-aging drips to get rid of hyperpigmentation of the face. Or energy drips, something like a pick-me-up. You have pick-me-up drips where someone's like, I feel so lethargic. I feel so run down. I'm tired all the time around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I feel like I'm dragging. So these are, you know, the types of customers I will go to center. Give me something that's going to just give me a boost.
Go now.
Well,
right?
Okay, so that's all the pluses. What about the negatives? What do we have to worry about? What should we check with our doctor about?
You always want to be cautious when you're going to a center. You want to make sure that a licensed medical, you know, doctor is actually running the facility and either doing the IV drips or has an RN. It's scary when you're going to a center and you're not sure if, you know, if you just have someone that's not qualified. You know, so it's always good to ask questions when you go in there, and it's okay to ask them questions like, let me see your vial, let me make sure that it's in the bioavailable form, not a synthetic form. A lot of IV centers will give cyanocobalamin, it's a cyanide B12, you know, as an injection or as an IV, and then they're literally poisoning you and they don't know what they're doing. So you want to make sure that you're asking those questions for you in there. Who's your medical director? Is an RN doing the drip? Bring out the vials before you're putting them in the bag and let me see what is
advice.
I always tell people, always ask. It's your right to ask, especially when someone's hooking you up to something and you're trusting them. Bring an IV. What are you putting in there?
And
you know,
if
you want
they
to make
don't
sure
want to, they don't want to show you anything,
then that's a big sign going, okay, I'm out of here, you know?
Right.
So, but if you want to go and have energy, people do it for their hair. I've gone before just, you know, hangover drips. Or when I got the flu, when I got the cold, I went in there, I had one of the IV centers come to my house, hook me up, and then the flu was gone.
It's a great idea for recovering, you know, from the illnesses, because we're all getting it and we all want to get back on our feet as fast as possible.
Exactly.
So, all right, good
it's
information.
good to stay hydrated. It's good to keep your body strong.
Get the vitamins. All right, thank you, Dr. Jenny. To find out more about IV therapy or any other of your health and wellness concerns, you can find Dr. Jenny at Age Vital Pharmacy on Main Street in downtown Sarasota, or check her out at agevital.com. Great to see you. Thanks for stopping by, and coming up, the show's Going to the Dogs.